Imagine someone offers you a job that pays $30 per hour. Sounds pretty good, right? If you work 40 hours a week, that's about $1,200 a week. Over a year, that's more than $60,000. For many people, that sounds like a solid middle-class income. But here's the uncomfortable question most people never ask. What if you're not actually earning $30 per hour? What if the real number is closer to $4 per hour? That might sound ridiculous at first, but once you start breaking down the math behind modern work, taxes, commuting, housing, debt, time costs, and inflation, something strange starts to appear. A $30-hour job can quietly shrink into something that looks a lot smaller. And it happens so gradually that most people never notice. They just feel permanently tired, permanently busy, and somehow still behind financially. This isn't about conspiracy theories. It's about understanding the real economics of your time. Because once you see how the math actually works, you start thinking about work very differently. And if you enjoy breakdowns like this that reveal the hidden math behind money and work, consider subscribing. This channel is all about making finance easier to understand. By the end of this video, you'll understand why a $30 per hour salary often turns into far less in real life, the hidden costs of working that most people never calculate, why modern employment quietly consumes far more than 40 hours of your week, and how understanding this math can completely change how you think about income. This video isn't about telling people to quit their jobs. It's about seeing the system clearly, because when you understand how the numbers actually work, you gain the power to design a smarter financial life. Let's break down the real math. Number 1, the tax reality. Let's start with the most obvious reduction, taxes. If you earn $30 per hour working full-time, that's about $62,400 per year before taxes. But depending on where you live, federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and other deductions can easily take 20 to 30% of that income. Let's be conservative and say 25% disappears. Your $62,400 salary instantly becomes about $46,800 take-home pay. Your hourly income just dropped from $30 to roughly $22.50, and we're only getting started. Number 2, the commuting cost. Now let's talk about something most people accept without questioning, commuting. For millions of workers, getting to work takes 30 to 60 minutes each way. Let's assume 1 hour per day total. That adds 5 extra hours every week. Suddenly, your 40-hour job is really 45 hours of your life. Now divide your take-home pay by those real hours. Your $22.50 per hour income drops to around $20 per hour. But commuting also has financial costs: gas, car maintenance, public transportation, parking. Many studies estimate commuting costs at $3,000 to $5,000 per year. Subtract another $4,000, now your real income becomes about $42,800. Your effective hourly rate falls closer to $18 per hour. If this type of breakdown is interesting to you, feel free to subscribe. We explore the hidden economics of everyday life here. Number 3, the work-life preparation tax. Working doesn't just take time while you're at work. It also requires preparation. Think about everything required just to maintain employment. Getting ready in the morning, professional clothing, meal preparation, scheduling around work hours, mental recovery after long days. Let's say preparing for work consumes another hour per day. Now your workday is really 10 hours of life tied to your job. Over a 5-day week, that's 50 hours. Your effective hourly income now falls closer to $16 per hour. And we still haven't touched the biggest expenses yet. Number 4, the housing proximity cost. Here's one of the largest hidden work expenses most people overlook: housing. Many workers pay significantly higher rent or mortgages simply to live close to their jobs. Living near economic centers usually means paying premium housing prices. Imagine someone paying $500 extra per month just to live near their workplace. That's $6,000 per year tied directly to employment location. Subtract that from your income. Now your $62,400 salary effectively becomes about $36,800. Spread across the real hours your job consumes, your effective hourly rate may now be closer to $14 per hour. Number 5, the stress spending effect. Work doesn't just consume time. It often creates spending habits designed to compensate for stress and exhaustion. Takeout meals because you're tired, convenience purchases because you're busy, streaming services or entertainment to decompress, coffee runs during long workdays. These expenses seem small individually, but they add up quickly. Many workers easily spend $3,000 to $6,000 per year on convenience spending directly related to their work schedule. Now subtract another $4,000, your effective income drops again. Your hourly rate may now be approaching $12 per hour. If you like learning about these financial blind spots that most people overlook, subscribing helps you catch future breakdowns like this. Number 6, the debt trap. Here's where things get even more complicated. Many people needed education loans just to qualify for their jobs. Student loan payments can easily cost $200 to $600 per month. Let's assume $350 per month. That's $4,200 per year. Once again, subtract that from your effective income. Your real yearly earnings shrink again. Your hourly rate may now look closer to $10 per hour. And remember, the original offer was $30 per hour. Number 7, the inflation adjustment. Now let's adjust for something most people underestimate: inflation. The cost of living continues rising each year. Food, rent, transportation, healthcare. If inflation averages just 3% annually, the purchasing power of your salary gradually declines. Over time, your income buys less and less. So even if your nominal wage remains $30 per hour, your real purchasing power may slowly drift toward $9 per hour in today's dollars. Number 8, the time cost nobody calculates. Now we reach the biggest hidden cost of all: your time. Working a full-time job affects far more than the hours you clock in. It shapes your schedule, your energy levels, your ability to pursue other opportunities. A 9-to-5 job often dictates most of your waking hours. Even if you technically work 8 hours, your day is built around that schedule: morning preparation, commute, work, return home, recovery. Your day is essentially built around employment. When economists calculate effective hourly life income, sometimes they divide earnings by all waking hours dedicated to sustaining work. When you apply that broader lens, many salaries begin to look surprisingly small. For some workers, their $30 per hour job effectively compensates them closer to $6 to $10 per hour of real-life energy. In extreme cases, it can approach $4 per hour of real usable time. Number 9, why this feels invisible. So why don't most people notice this? Because the system distributes these costs across different categories. Taxes go to government, housing goes to landlords, transportation goes to fuel companies, convenience spending goes to restaurants and services, student loans go to lenders. Individually, each cost seems normal, but when you combine them into one equation, the picture becomes clearer. The modern work system consumes far more than just your labor. It consumes your time, energy, location, and lifestyle. Now here's the important part. The point of this breakdown isn't to say work is pointless. Work is how most people build income. The real lesson is awareness. Once you understand the true cost of your time, you begin making smarter decisions. You think carefully about commuting distance. You avoid unnecessary lifestyle inflation. You negotiate higher salaries more confidently. You invest more aggressively so your money begins working too. You build additional income streams, and most importantly, you start measuring opportunities not just by salary, but by time freedom, because time is the only asset you can never earn more of. If you're enjoying this kind of perspective on money and work, you might enjoy the other videos on this channel too. The biggest financial shift people experience isn't when they earn their first big salary, it's when they begin evaluating money differently. Instead of asking, how much does this job pay, they ask, how much of my life does this job consume? That single question changes everything. Because the goal isn't just earning money, the goal is building a life where your time becomes more valuable every year, where investments begin replacing labor, where skills increase your leverage, where income becomes less dependent on trading hours for dollars. If this video gave you a new perspective on the value of your time, consider subscribing for more breakdowns like this. Every week, we explore the hidden mechanics behind money, work, and wealth so you can make smarter financial decisions. And I'm curious about something. If you calculated your real hourly income after taxes, commuting, and expenses, what do you think it would be? Drop your estimate in the comments. Because sometimes the most powerful financial breakthrough isn't earning more, it's finally understanding the true value of your time.